Welcome to the video on the coordinate plane, standard 611. The student will be able to graph ordered pairs in a coordinate plane. We already did the first one. So I will be able to plot points on the coordinate plane as the learning target for today. So when we plot points, when we're given a set of coordinates and asked to plot them, we start at 0, 0 unless the directions say otherwise. Alright, then go left if your x-coordinate is negative, or right if it's positive. And that again is your first number. So if this number is negative, you go to the left, and if it's positive, you go to the right. Then you go down if the y is negative, or you go up if it's positive. So let's go ahead and fill in your notes. You always start at the origin, and then you move left or right on the x-axis, and then from that spot on the x-axis, you move up or down, and then you plot your point. Please pause the video now if you need to. Alright, let's go ahead and look at this first example. It says plot the point 3, negative 4 on the coordinate plane and label that point D. So we're going to start at the origin, and our first number is positive, and it's a positive 3. So we're going to go over 3, and then from this point, we're going to go down 4 since our point is negative. So we're going to plot a point right there at 3, negative 4, and we're going to label it as point D. Okay, now we're going to plot the points E and F. This point is 6, 0. This point right here gives students a lot of trouble. So let's start at the origin, and remember we always go left or right. So it's a positive 6, so we're going to move over to 6. And then the next point is 0. So that means we are not going to go up or down at all. We're going to stay right here at 6. All right, and then we're going to label that E. Alright, then we're going to go back to the origin, and we're going to plot our second point. So our second point is negative 2, so we're going to go to the left 2, and then negative 5, so we're going to go down 5. And we're going to put a point right here where the arrow is. And we are going to call that point F. Alright, next we're going to graph these 4 points. And then if we connect the points, we are going to identify what shape does it make. Alright, so we're going to plot the first one, and we always want to label it with its letter. So it says 4, 0. So we're going to go over 4, and we're not going to go up or down at all. Okay, right there. So that is our A. Alright, next we have 0, 4. So 0, we're not going to move left or right at all, and then we're going to go up 4. Okay, and this is point B. Next we're going to do 0, 0. That means we don't go anywhere. So that's a C. And then we're going to go 4, 4. So we go over 4, up 4. And that is our point D. Okay, and then if we connect the dots, what shape do we have? You should have a square. Okay. Alright, there are the points graphed. And now it says, what is the perimeter of the square? Alright, let's talk about the perimeter. The perimeter, as a review, is the distance around the shape. So we just add up all the sides. So if we added this up, we have 4 units this way. So we have 4 units this way, 4 units this way, and 4 units that way. So if we add them all up, we have 16 units as our perimeter. Now it says, what is the area of a square? Now remember, our perfect squares, we've already learned that. We've already learned that that was the area of a square. So we're going to come down here, and we just say 4 squared equals 16. And that would be units. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on. It should be 16 units squared. So the perimeter is 16 units, and the area is 16 units squared. All right, let's take a look at this one. It says, what is the point that will complete a hexagon? So here, it wants you to find the missing point. So what I want you to do is go ahead and pause the video, and then I want you to identify what the missing point is. Okay, now if you plot -3, 4, then you are correct. All right, so the answer is -3, 4. Now what quadrant does the point lie in? Well, let's remember this is quadrant 1 and this is quadrant 2. So this point right here lies in quadrant 2. All right, now after plotting points, sometimes instructions will say to connect the dots and ask what shape is formed. So let's take a look at D, E, and F. You might be able to tell what shape this is without even connecting the dots, but if we have to follow the directions, and the directions said to connect the dots. All right, so we formed a triangle. All right, now what I want you to do is go ahead and pause the video here, and I want you to try plotting these points. I've given you the coordinate plane to graph this mystery picture, and I want you to bring this in to me tomorrow and tell me what the mystery picture is when we're going over this in class. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and plot the first two with you. So we have 7, -1. So right here, notice that this skips numbers. So these blue marks here, this would be your 1, 2, 3, 4. So we had 7, 1. So we're going to start at the origin. We go over 7, up 1. Okay, and you do have to connect these dots in order to get a shape. So I'm going to go back. Then we have 7, -10. So I'm going to go over 7, down 10. Okay, now as I'm doing this, I'm going to connect the dots because sometimes you get so many points that you don't know what went to what. So I connect them as I go. And I'm going to do one more point with you. I have 6, -10. Alright, so I'm going to start at the origin. I'm going to go over 6, down 10. And I'm going to connect those dots. Now what I want you to do is go ahead and bring this into me tomorrow and show me what you plotted. And we will definitely talk about this. So go ahead and pause the video here. Alright, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope that after pausing it, you have completed the mystery picture. And I am going to post these links right here on Locate the Aliens and Billy Bug and his all-new Quest for Grub in case you still want and need additional practice.